Hello, I'm KCB. You probably found this video because you realize Twitch is on fire right now, and you might want to have a couple eggs in a different basket. Or maybe you just are curious about YouTube streaming. Either way, I have you covered. I was actually in the initial round of affiliates for Twitch, and I jumped ship back in the Bleed Purple era. So for you Twitch historians, that should probably tell you something. If not, doesn't matter. Let's get down to streaming on YouTube, shall we? I've been streaming on YouTube for a couple years, and there are several pitfalls that I went through that you don't have to. So let's walk through this. I am going to be blurring out any sensitive information because I don't know what is or isn't good for people to see on your YouTube dashboard. But to get going, you've got two options. You can either hit go live under the create, or you can just hit the go live here. Now, normally under Twitch circumstances, that would be it, right? You just hit go live, stream keys saved, all that stuff. You actually have to schedule a stream live too. And you can either do your streaming software, which would be something like OBS, which is what I use, or you could do mobile, which would have to be hooked up to your mobile device, probably phone or tablet, something along those lines. Let's go ahead and hit streaming software. This is where it gives you the option to basically just redo the same thing you just did. This was a stream I did last week. We're not going to be redoing that. Otherwise, it will straight up just put you live. It reuses all the settings that you had for it. And you can even go through and reselect that. So if you are relatively singular in what you do, maybe that's a good option for you. I never do that because it doesn't allow me to set a time or anything like that. And setting a time is actually very important. Something I'll note here, you do have to basically fill this out. It has changed semi-recently. It didn't used to have this process bar up at the top, but now it more or less mirrors what you would see if you were to upload a video. The defaults, if you're unaware, you can just click this icon down here from your YouTube Studio, go into upload defaults, and bam, there you go. If you stream the same thing or whatever, you can even include hashtags and all that. Just go ahead and pop that in, and half of your job is already done. Your defaults are already here. It's the same for uploads as live streams, so yay. I'm actually scheduling a live stream right now, so let's just go ahead and give ourselves a title: Team Gear Splatfest and Naga Cipher Box. If you know, you know. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird stream. I always have just a description there to remind me to do a description, but don't have to do that. Let's just get rid of that. Splatoon 3. Hashtags are also semi-important. Just FYI, they will show up as little links underneath your video or your live stream, which basically group you into a category. Think of them as tags. They're similar to tags on Twitch. You can use up to 3, so just be aware of that. Anything more won't be shown. It'll be the first 3 that you have hashtag. I think we're probably going to start off in Fire Emblem, so we'll start there. Yay. The thumbnail is semi-necessary. If you don't, it will just upload whatever your default channel image is. I got one though, so we're good. We can just pop that in there. You can either search for it or drag and drop. Doesn't matter. Same as putting the YouTube thumbnail together. This is where it gets a little bit technical. I like to archive my live streams, and I'll explain why in a minute. But you can just add it to your playlist now for the time being if you have one. If not, don't worry about it. More settings, great. A lot of these are typically already there. We'll add Splatoon 3, I guess, for the time being, right? And then everything else is probably the same. We'll go next. We do want to monetize because you gots to get paid, right? And then this is kind of a setting that you can choose to have. I like to have live chat set, not the replay, and I like to have subs. This is arbitrary. It just kind of helps cut down on spam. You can set it for whatever you want, any duration. I usually just am lazy and don't move it past the 5 minutes. Also, if someone comes in to tell me that I suck, they'd probably move on if they have to wait 5 minutes to do that. But again, totally optional, up to you. My chat is not that slow, so we don't really need, or not that fast, rather, so we don't need anything like that. You can do redirects, you can do trailers. Don't really mess with any of that. Redirects is still kind of a bit sketch, to be honest. It's kind of like hosting afterwards or sending someone to a premiere that you're premiering a video for. You can do that while you're live. It doesn't really matter for the prerequisite here. Customization, you want public probably, unless you're planning to do an unlisted private or members only stream. Hard to get discovered when you're not streaming for anybody else. I'm gonna go ahead and set mine for 8:30. That's about an hour for now. This is an important part, okay? This part's actually important, so listen carefully. Your subscribers will get a push notification, if they have notifications on, 30 minutes prior to you going live. So here you can see I have my stream set for 8:30. At 8 o'clock, subs are gonna get a push. And then when you actually hit the go live button, I know it seems like we're taking forever to get there, but I assure you it does exist. They will get a push notification then. Meanwhile, as long as you have this up, it will sit at the top of your subscribers' subscription feed, which is very nice. So the sooner you have a live stream holding, the sooner people will be aware of your stream. Very seldom do you ever actually want to just go live immediately. You can, but it's more beneficial to set things up ahead of time in order to help build awareness and naturally build a bigger audience on top of that. Because discoverability for live streams on YouTube, still a little sketch, okay? Still a little tough. Probably not any harder than it is to get found in the bottom of a very popular category on Twitch, I assure you, but you know, either way. So with that, we are pretty much done. Now the technical aspect is once you have set this to go live, you've got your stream key, which unless you change it is always going to be variable. So every time you go live, you will have to change that stream key in OBS. Not going to walk you through that because I'm pretty confident you know how to do that already if you're streaming on Twitch. You can reset it. It's just a copy. Your streaming URL, right? All of that stuff. That is there. Latency, I just set to low. There's not a huge difference between low and ultra low. So I just go low. I've never noticed a big chat delay. Maybe if your internet is tanking, there's a difference. Normal latency and low latency, there is a distinct difference. There's about a 5-second delay. I think maybe with low latency or ultra low, it's like a second. But it can get pretty lengthy with normal latency, 5, 10, 15-second difference, which, you know, dead air, not great. So over here on the right, we got some more settings. You can enable auto start. I don't really fuss with any of those. Enable DVR, sure. That allows viewers to go back and watch your stream. Very nice, very pog. Add a delay, I don't add anything like that, but you can. That option exists for you. It's up to you. Closed captions, don't really do that because it's live, and honestly the live caption reader is a little bit dicey. Unlist live once stream ends. That is important because what you're doing when you're going live is basically making a YouTube video. YouTube's great because it has a very robust VOD system where Twitch doesn't necessarily have that. However, if you're trying to grow on YouTube, YouTube's going to push these videos, even though they're live streams, but they're videos. See where I'm going? So if you're trying to put out videos that are 8 to 12 minutes long, however the standard meta is for YouTube content these days outside of shorts, they're also going to push like a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hour live stream along with it. Very different audiences, right? So ideally you don't do that. What I do is I unlist it, and again earlier in the settings, right, which you can come up here and change, we had this going to a live stream archives playlist. So that'll be an unlisted video in a playlist that your viewers can go find from your channel homepage. Easy. Just make sure that that playlist is on your channel homepage. It will look something like this over here. There's some shorts. There's the live stream archives. See, there you go. So everybody can find that. Now, if you want to do something a little bit different, like launch a second channel, for example, you can come up here, go to settings, from your channel homepage, add or manage channels. And then once you're here, you can just create a channel under the same email address that you have, same Google account, same AdSense account, all of that. And basically you can add something like, for example, I would go KCB VOD if I wanted to make a channel dedicated to just live streams and long form content, probably more than like 20-30 minutes, something like that. You can make a clips channel if you want, for short form content, maybe a shorts channel if you want, but there's ways to break out your live streams as well, not just keeping them in that singular playlist that I was demonstrating over here. So just a couple things to think about, I guess. If that is interesting to you, then go right ahead. Also, one last thing, if you need to ban somebody, they're gone forever, unless of course you come down here. See, it's more of like a shadow ban. These users have been hidden for one reason or another, probably slurs. I'm not a fan of slurs. If someone drops a slur in my chat, I like to make an example of them. And so, you know, they end up here in the exodus of users who may or may not know they're banned, because their messages still appear to them, just nobody else. So it's kind of like a shadow ban. They exist, but they don't realize that they actually don't exist. It's interesting. But those are called hidden users. Just FYI, if you're trying to ban somebody or unban somebody, they go over here to the community tab under your settings, which is where I was showing these channel defaults earlier. So I hope that that gives you kind of some sort of happiness when it comes to the live stream setup. Again, there is a little more nuance than just clicking go live on Twitch. Hopefully that is best. Also, by the way, when you start streaming in OBS, you hit the go live button. You can't just hit start streaming in OBS and then go live. You actually have to click the go live button in YouTube, this guy up here. So just a heads up. My first time I streamed on YouTube, it legitimately took me 10 minutes to figure that out, and I couldn't realize why I was live. Some other stuff up here if you want to add a stream marker, if you want to create a highlight, if you want to run an ad. These are all up here from your dashboard. I suggest having this open in a separate tab so that you can just run it while you're streaming, similar to what you might do on Twitch. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot of difference. It's just the before and after parts of streaming on YouTube is primarily what makes it different. And there's some fun things you can figure out along the ways. We have integrated polls. You can donate. I can donate to myself, evidently. There's emotes, things that you can do. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, be sure to leave a like. You can subscribe if you want. I don't typically do content like this. This is kind of for the moots who are over on Twitch and maybe want to see the light on YouTube. I made the switch years ago. I'm glad I did. Twitch hasn't been making great decisions lately outside of the gambling ban. I think that's a good decision. But come get that 70-30 split, friend. Okay? Don't deal for 50-50. That ain't worth it. You're worth more. Yar. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you found this helpful. If not, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. But that's it for now. Thanks again, and until then, I will catch you next time.